Earlier this year, a major construction project in downtown Detroit Lakes was supposed to take place. It was the Washington Avenue project. Now, we've talked nauseating about this here on the program because, well, it's a major project on a major portion of downtown that's going to have major implications on the future look of the city, as well as those businesses that are downtown and how they're going to function during it. Twice bids were put out earlier this year. Both times they were rejected because they came in, frankly, just much higher than both the city and the county felt comfortable when it came to paying. So the project has been delayed. Most recently, at the latest Detroit Lake City Council meeting, the City Council, after consulting some with the county too, decided that they are going to rebid the project. But in order to try to bring the price down, they want to double the size of the project. Instead of 2 blocks of downtown, they would basically be constructing 4 blocks of downtown. Eventually, the downtown reconstruction project to make Washington Avenue, kind of the main north-south drag from Highway 34 all the way down to the lake and all the way around Westlake Drive over past Zorba's Lakeside, that area, is to kind of redesign it to make it look better. At least down to the lake portion of Washington, the red concrete and so forth, those developments are at least in the vogue, or at least in the ideas of what the city wants to do, and the county, of course, going along with that. Although the actual beautifications is being paid for by the county, or excuse me, not by the county, by the city. The county is participating in its part of the actual road project. All the extra lighting, red concrete, etc. is actually paid for by the city itself. But at this meeting with the expansion, there were some more business owners that got concerned because suddenly now they're in this area. And one of the ways the city hopes to save money on rebidding this is to change the construction schedule, which basically would be allowing construction throughout most of the spring, all summer, with maybe a slight break in July, and then continuing through for the rest of the year. Meaning there is a possibility of having construction over, let's say, the 4th of July, over, let's say, the Water Carnival, possibly over WeFest. The big part of the problem with the last bidding process, we're told, is because they wanted different companies to break up and essentially move their equipment out and their guys and move back in to finish during these high traffic times. It just made it too difficult for other contractors to want to do that competitively. Also, of course, we got the oil patch, which is getting a lot of our money away from us, which means easier projects out there, probably more profitable. Why deal with the downtown project that's going to have all these little issues and little nuances if you're not going to make enough money off of it? I think that's part of the reason that some of this went on. But the real issue with this, and at the meeting, came with the assessments, how much this project could cost. Approximately $5.7 million. We'll see how close the numbers come in, because remember, last year when this was bid, the numbers came in almost $1 million over. But some of these downtown businesses and residents are looking at $15,000, $20,000, and $30,000 assessments. I think it's time the City of Detroit Lakes takes a look at its assessment policy. I think it's time the City of Detroit Lakes has what I would classify as a fair assessment policy when it comes to road projects. Not splitting half between the city and the resident, not splitting a quarter between who and whatever. This is how it should be done. Simply, whatever assessment I am paying on my property for road projects, I should not have to pay more money than whatever the improvement would add in value to my home and business. In other words, if I'm wanted to pay, or if I'm being told to pay $20,000 for this Washington Avenue project, to me, my business should at least get $20,000 more in value. Whether that's because it's easier access coming in and off the road, more parking. They just feel that this will attract this much more business downtown. There should be some way to quantify that, in my opinion. Now, I know in an ideal world, public infrastructure should not be assessed to the private sector at all. That's my personal opinion. That's why we pay taxes in the first place. I don't think we should need any more special assessments. But I know that's pie in the sky thinking. So if we're going to have them, I think they need to be as fair as possible. And I think determining how much value it adds to your property and assessing you that is the most fairest way to do it.